life took a tragic turn in the quiet city of Bremerhaven, Germany. Ekaterina, or Katja, as she was affectionately known, was a loving mother and wife, living what seemed to be an ordinary life with her German husband, Walter Baumann, and their young daughter. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly normal family life, a sinister plot was unfolding that would shock the community and make headlines across the globe. Born and raised in Russia, Ekaterina was a woman full of life and dreams. Her early years were spent in the embrace of her homeland, surrounded by family and friends. As she grew older, her aspirations took her on a journey beyond the borders of Russia. Her life took a significant turn when she met Walter Baumann. Walter, a German national, captivated Ekaterina with his charm and promises of a better life. Smitten by Walter, Ekaterina made the bold decision to leave her familiar surroundings in Russia and embark on a new life journey in Germany. This move marked the beginning of a new chapter in Ekaterina's life, one filled with hope and promise, but also unforeseen challenges and trials. Ekaterina and Walter's marriage, initially filled with hope and promise, soon began to reveal a darker side. Walter, once the charming man who had won Ekaterina's heart, gradually began to show signs of control and manipulation. Walter's controlling behavior escalated over time, creating a stifling environment for Ekaterina. He isolated her from her friends and family, took control of her personal documents, and even restricted her access to their shared finances. This level of control was a clear sign of an abusive relationship, with Ekaterina becoming more and more entrapped in her own home. The abuse wasn't just emotional and psychological. Ekaterina's mother revealed to journalists that Walter had physically abused Ekaterina on multiple occasions. These instances of domestic violence added another layer of fear and oppression to Ekaterina's life. Despite the mounting difficulties, Ekaterina remained committed to her role as a mother, striving to provide a nurturing environment for her daughter amidst the turmoil. However, the escalating abuse and control were clear indicators of the danger Ekaterina was in, leading up to her tragic disappearance. The birth of Ekaterina and Walter's daughter was a beacon of joy in an otherwise tumultuous marriage. Ekaterina embraced motherhood with all her heart, providing love and care for her little girl. However, this joyous occasion was marred by Walter's continued controlling behavior. He extended his control to their daughter, further isolating Ekaterina and making her life increasingly difficult. Despite the challenges, Ekaterina remained a dedicated mother, her love for her daughter unwavering. As the abuse and control escalated, Ekaterina began to consider divorce as a means to escape her oppressive situation. She yearned for freedom, not just for herself, but also for her daughter. However, Walter's actions made it clear that he would not let her go easily. He took measures to prevent Ekaterina from leaving Germany with their daughter, further entrapping her in their abusive marriage. Despite the mounting obstacles, Ekaterina held on to hope, seeking a way out of her dire circumstances. In the weeks leading up to her disappearance, Ekaterina found a glimmer of hope in the form of a new relationship with a Russian pilot. This relationship was not just a source of emotional comfort for Ekaterina, but it also represented a potential escape route from her oppressive marriage. The Russian pilot, who was unaware of the full extent of Ekaterina's situation, provided her with a sense of companionship and understanding that she had been missing in her marriage. Their conversations and interactions brought a sense of normalcy and happiness back into Ekaterina's life, something she'd been yearning for amidst the turmoil at home. However, this new relationship also added a layer of complexity to Ekaterina's already precarious situation. It was a secret she had to keep from Walter, adding to the stress and fear she was already experiencing. She had to navigate this new relationship carefully, ensuring that Walter did not find out and escalate his abusive behavior. On February 4th, 2022, Ekaterina was seen for the last time. She was recorded by neighbors' video cameras going for a walk in her light-colored jacket and yellow skirt. Later that evening, she had dinner with her family, after which she made a video call to her new lover from her computer. She promised to call him again after putting her daughter to bed, but that call never came. 2 hours later, the Russian pilot sent a message wishing her a good night, but his message remained unread. From that point on, Ekaterina Baumann vanished without a trace. leaving behind a cloud of mystery and a desperate search for answers. The investigation into Ekaterina's disappearance was a complex one. Despite her sudden absence, Walter showed a disturbing lack of concern, further arousing the suspicions of the investigators. As the investigation progressed, a grim discovery was made. Ekaterina's body was found, bringing a tragic end to the search. Walter's behavior during the investigation, his lack of concern for his missing wife, and the discovery of Ekaterina's body in a suitcase in the river all pointed towards his involvement in her disappearance and death. The white jacket that Ekaterina was wearing in her last selfie was found in a trash container at Walter's workplace, adding another piece to the puzzle. The trial that followed was a tense affair. Walter remained silent throughout the proceedings, refusing to comment on the charges brought against him. His mother, Ludmila, made a shocking attempt to take the blame for Ekaterina's death, claiming that she was the one who had killed her. However, the evidence against Walter was overwhelming. Traces of blood were found in the garage and in his car, and his computer and phone revealed search queries about avoiding punishment for murder and how to dissolve a body in acid. Despite Ludmila's desperate attempts to protect her son, the jury and the prosecutor's office remained unconvinced, believing that Walter was the true perpetrator of the crime. On May 23, 2023, the court delivered its verdict on the case of Ekaterina Baumann. Walter Baumann, the man at the center of this tragic case, was found guilty of his wife's murder. Despite the attempts of his mother to take the blame, the evidence against Walter was too compelling to ignore. The court sentenced Walter to life imprisonment, a sentence that reflected the severity of his crime. However, under German law, he would be eligible for parole after serving 15 years. This verdict marked the end of a long and painful journey for those seeking justice for Ekaterina, but it also served as a stark reminder of the tragic loss of a mother, a daughter, and a woman who had sought a better life for herself and her child. The aftermath of the case left deep scars on those involved, particularly Ekaterina's young daughter. After the trial, the little girl was placed in a facility for traumatized children and given a new name to protect her from the grim reality of her mother's fate. Ekaterina's mother, Svetlana, has been fighting to gain guardianship of her granddaughter, but the German authorities have so far denied her even phone contact with the child. Meanwhile, the case against Ludmila Baumann, Walter's mother who had tried to take the blame for her son's actions, remains open. Despite her confessions, the court did not fully believe her claims. It is possible that she may face charges as an accomplice in the future. As we reflect on the tragic case of Ekaterina Baumann, we are reminded of the devastating impacts of domestic abuse and the lengths to which some will go to exert control over others. Ekaterina's story serves as a stark reminder of the importance of recognizing and addressing signs of abuse and manipulation. In the end, the case of Ekaterina Baumann is more than just a tale of tragedy. It is a call to action, a plea for justice, and a testament to the enduring human spirit. As we remember Ekaterina, let us also remember the countless others who suffer in silence, and let us strive to create a world where no one has to live in fear.